Alright, hello, hello. We are back for some more Legacy Death and Taxes action today, coming off of our second place in the Legacy Challenge. For those of you that missed yesterday's rather long stream, we managed to get second place in the Legacy Challenge, which is really sweet. I had a ton of fun. We got to play 10 rounds of Legacy yesterday. It was very long, but I definitely enjoyed everything that was going on. Oh, geez, my frames are tanking. Oh, maybe they're suddenly fine again. Okay, hopefully that. I always have frame problems. Anyway, we're gonna be running back the same 75. Not that I like make a lot of drastic changes anyway. If anything, I want to slant the sideboard like even more towards combo right now. There's just so much ant. There's a lot of sneak and show in the tournament as well. And just like Triple Chalice especially is not super strong against Sneak in particular. They're one of the best combo decks at beating a Chalice on one. Just because their combo doesn't even care about it. All it really hurts them is their ability to cast cantrips. But I don't really know what I would do to the sideboard, like tweak it, maybe an Ethersworn Canonist, but I like Chalice more against Storm. Maybe like cut one of these other cards. But I don't even know what card that would be. I'm really liking the 75 just overall. So we're just gonna run it back anyway. So of course, as I always do when I run back a successful list, we're gonna like 0-3 horribly and look like a fool. Hero of Bladehold, I don't think is the card I'm looking for to beat Sneak and Show and Storm. Do not think that is the correct line all the time. What's up, Henny? Chris on the challenge finish. Thanks, Lasco. Anyway. Legacy League. Kind of lost track of what I was doing there for a second. Was there an issue? Oh, did you not have, like, one of your tags? I don't know. Looked fine to me. Now we gotta play Legacy D&T with Holiday Spirit. Can't just play normal D&T. Also, I always manage to go live like right as Phil's wrapping up his stream, and it's like, unless his stream goes long, I like never catch like the tail end of his stream, which is unfortunate. Be a nice way to like start my stream, but I need to like push my streams to 8:30 or something if I wanted to actually like catch his. But it's all good. People will slowly trickle in as they usually do, and we actually got a lot of followers from the challenge. It's not unsurprisingly, because I think our peak was like around 100, just because especially as you get towards the later rounds, if you're like doing very well in the challenges, people will jump into stream a lot. Yeah, we jumped like to 390 followers. We were at like 360 something, I'm pretty sure. And that was doing that one for the 300 follower appreciation stream, and now we're almost at 400. But anyway, now we just get to wait for these legacy queues. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with where my 75 is right now. I don't think there would be a lot that I would change. I especially enjoy a lot of like the niche one-ofs in the deck. Like, I think everything really kind of has its place in the main deck right now. And the sideboard just feels like almost all these cards are locked in. Like, I'm not going to be playing without Cataclysm. I'm not going to be playing without Council's Judgment. Like, maybe I could cut a Path. And, like, I'm not going to be playing without, like, at least 4 Graveyard Hate spells in the sideboard. Leon Relic Order seems like it's impossible to cut. Third Recruiter is, like, one of the best sideboard cards, I think. Just because it comes in so often, because your post-board games go so much longer. or you want to be able to find your bullets more often. And like 2 Chalice / 2 Ether Sworn or whatever. There's like maybe 1-ish flex slot. Alright. So we got 2 lands, Thalia, Cleric, Provoker. We got a good hand of stuff against a lot of possible outcomes here. Burn? Alright. Well, we got, like, Thalia. Sucks to be on the draw against Burn. This Goblin guy's just gonna deal us a bunch. Reveals 3rd Thalia. That's not great. Obviously, my opponent just goes, like, turn 2 Eidolon. Oh, that's much better. Oh, man, are they on 1 land? Yeah, never mind. The game suddenly went from not looking great to just over. Plow's a little late to the party, but definitely deploying Thalia into my opponent's 1-lander. Suddenly flooded with plows. So we just play Spirit Keeper and attack. If they attack with the guide, I'll just trade Spirit Keeper for it. Make a Spirit, kill their guide. Have plows back to gain life or whatever. It's like more mana efficient. If we find a 4th land, we can deploy like double 2s. It is a lot of Thalias, but luckily we're against Burn, who kept a 1-lander, so looks like we'll be fine. Yeah, game's just over. Thalia, very good against 1-landers. Alright, sideboard time. Want Chalices, Paths, Relic Order, Council Judgments. And I think I want 3rd Recruiter. I always forget when I sideboard. Probably cut, like, Revokers, Cleric, and Ballista. So that's pretty clean. Is there, like, a worse card in this iteration of the deck than Recruiter? You maybe swap it out for a Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp does actually, like, is kind of mean. Oh, yeah, this kind of came up last time, where Mirror Crusader is likely better than, like, a Wisp, because Wisp is pretty miserable against Burn. I do like Wisp being able to flicker out Sulfuric Vortexes for a turn, so you can get, like, GTA Life Gain or Batterskull Life Gain triggers. Or flicker out Ensnaring Bridge, which sometimes they have on the board. Which I don't think they should be boarding in against Death and Taxes. It's mostly like a sneak card, but sometimes they do. But I think that was brought up last time I played against Burn. But I think the difference between Mirror Crusader and Flicker Wisp is semi-marginal. Crusader blocks a lot better, that's for sure. It just eats most of their creatures. Also, we might have, like, enough answers to, like, a Crucible, or not Crucible, Sulfuric Vortex already. 2 Council Judgments, Relic Order, some number of Wisps. You can definitely get behind doing that. I think the difference between Crusader and second Wisp is, like, pretty marginal. So I think we'll just submit like that. Be happy. Well, this hand sucks. Well, this hand also sucks. I've been drawing Batterskull in my opener like a disproportionate amount of my opening hands. Yeah. This is about as good a 5 as I'm gonna get in this matchup. I think I just want to curve out with my stuff. So I want to top that. Especially if my opponent leaves Goblin Guide. It's completely free to top that. Oh. Well. Mostly better that they don't lead on Goblin Guide, because it'll just deal me less damage here. If they play Eidolon, I think I'm just going to port rather than casting Thalia. Maybe not. Ooh, never mind. I think we're just going to Chalice on 1 into the Eidolon now. Oof. Am I casting any spells in his Eidolon? We're at 13. I guess actually casting Signet Pearl on 2 would be pretty insane, right? Volcanic Fallout is bad for me if they have a 4th land. But it does take their Eidolon off the table, and we have Stoneforge as backup. And if they don't have, like, exactly Volcanic Fallout, we're just gonna, like, mop the floor with them with this board. Yeah, game's just over. Jeez, that was a bloodbath. Chalice on 1 into Prelate on 2 against Burn is a good start. Alright. There are a couple cards that got them out of that, like Land Rift Bolt, like makes a dent. But even if they went land Volcanic Fallout, which was probably the worst case there, they still kill their own Eidolon, and they still don't deal with the Chalice. All their 1s are still turned off. And then we get to like follow up with Stoneforge for Batterskull or GT. That's a matchup against Reanimator. It's not... I mean, it's hard to say that you have a good matchup against Reanimator, but I definitely don't hate it. It's just rough to play your game 3s, because you will just, like, die to their best hands, especially as a not Force of Will deck. I think I have a winning record against it. I'm 9-5 against it. But, like, my game 1-1 percentage is just absurdly low. You need to have your hate. And then sometimes your hate's not good enough, especially when you're on the draw. So basically, you will lose game 1 a lot of the time, and then you'll win game 2 a lot of the time, because you'll have your hate and you'll be on the play. Ah, fuck, we're against Brian Cook. And then game 3 is the roughest one. Because game 3, you'll be on the draw, your hate's not particularly fast a lot of the time, and if they have good hands, they will just run you over. But I don't think it's that bad. Alright, so we're against Tess. Brian Cook is just, like, the Test master. And we lost the die roll, so we're pretty fucked. I think we just like mulligan to Thalia and probably still die. Lose a lot of games against it with Prison on the draw. Yeah, like being on the draw against Reanimator, no matter what deck you are, sometimes you will just die to their best hands. It's especially true for something like Death and Taxes, where you don't get forces and such. Do I go lower? No, we'll just keep. There's like nothing we can do against Tess. Especially if he knows. I don't know if Brant Cook knows me. Not exactly a big streamer. But if he does, then he just knows to go for it as soon as possible because he doesn't have to care about Force of Wills and such. Maybe I'm supposed to mold this to 4 just because Plow was already like a bad 5. I just kind of got... I think I would more aggressively mull more in like a more competitive environment, but on the leagues I tend to kind of just ease up on what I'm doing. I don't know why. Not good practice. But I think that was probably easy mull to 4 with Plow in the hand. Like you just 2 lands and Thalia is already better. Built D&T a couple years ago, but never ran it in Legacy. D&D's a really fun Legacy deck to play. Very difficult. What's up, Ecoimoy? How's it going? So we're probably just dead, and like my mulligans didn't actually matter at all. Thoughtseize, alright. Well, now we just like don't have a turn 2, besides for Schadenport. Maybe we'll just top deck Thalia. I should just scroll down to test now, because we're super dead. Takes the plows. It's just like the BM of you're dead, I don't care what you're doing. You're dead. You're deterministically dead this turn. My Thoughtseize does not matter. Or is this... This isn't like Gobos, right? Oh, this is Gobos? Is that why they take the plow? It's probably the best card to take there. Draw Stone Forge. Second Mom. Is that better than Revoker? Probably. It doesn't matter, right? We're just dead. We can't beat 12 goblins, no matter how many times we block with creatures. So we play Revoker, block, 10 goblins, we're at 10 life. Next turn, we draw a Plains, Flicker Wisp something, down to 9 goblins. We only have 2 blockers still, block. Take 7, go to 3, draw another Flicker Wisp. Flicker down to 6, block, take 4. Yeah, we're just dead. Their only plan was top deck Stoneforge there. Alright, this is the matchup. This is the reason why we have 3 Chalice of the Voids for oftentimes for just like the Storm matchup. I tend to not board in Rest in Peace here. Like, maybe it's like Rest in Peace is terrible against is really bad against Tess. Like, it's not good. It's not a card that's like, oh, time to get Tess with this Rest in Peace. But there are very corner cases where it can shut off something, and that might be better than like a random garbage beater. I'm not sure. I guess we'll figure out how many bad cards there are first. I just need to play more Legacy and become more familiar with the format and decks, main experience. Oh yeah, for sure. Legacy is a format that rewards knowledge of the format and knowledge of the deck that you're playing, as well as knowledge of the decks that your opponent is playing. Like, you will lose a lot in Legacy at the start if you are not, like, familiar with the format or familiar with your own deck. It's definitely very skill testing. See, this Rest in Peace is already free, right? Because we just cut the Ballista. We've already cut just, like, terrible cards. This isn't a Council's Judgment matchup because their hate is almost always Massacre. Because they're Burning Wish. So yeah, Rest in Peace does suck. But I think it's better than, like, a Walking Ballista or a Jite or a Hallowed Spirit Keeper. I think that's the only reason I'm leaving it in. Or, not really, again, bringing it in. I would love to play first. This is almost keepable with the Thalia. We're close, but we need to turn 2 Thalia. Or turn 1 Chalice. Hard mulliganing to those. This hand is a Snap Mull as well. This hand has like turn 4 Thalia. Turn 4 Prelate, I guess, because I'd rather run Prelate in that scenario, but obviously that is just colossally too slow. Looking for any hand with Chalice or Thalia and lands. At this point, I'll keep Thalia 1-landers. This is because you get the Scry, you get 2 looks at a land. This matchup is very bad, so you have to take a lot of risks. It's just sideboard. Yeah, sideboarding is definitely hard. I'm not even that good. Sometimes when I'm sideboarding, it's just like, I don't actually know what this last card to cut is. Yeah, hardship this hand. Alright, well, this is just a snap keep. We get Thoughtseize and die, but... We're also going to play around Massacre by just, like, not playing Plains. For as long as we can, at least. Lead with Rashadenport here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy 1. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You should sideboard some massacres. My opponent's sideboarding some massacres. I hope my opponent doesn't turn to Thoughtseize me, or doesn't, like, pedal Thoughtseize me. God damn it. Oh, thank gosh. The pedal pass. Oh, not a good draw. I don't think porting is worth opening myself up to Massacre. I think I just play Mom Pass, because if I get to untap with Thalia Mom, my odds of winning go up a lot. My opponent could just have, like, Chain of Vapor kill me, but, like, Port's not going to be substantially good against that, and I think I want to hedge my bet against, like, a Massacre instead. Rather than play out of planes here. Yeah, this is just Chain of Vapor kill me. Wait, does Echoing Truth kill me? Yeah. Look at all the snow-covered basics. Yeah, it's Christmas. It is a holiday season. Gotta play all these snow-covereds. Maybe he doesn't have it. No, he definitely has it. We super dead. Seems like we're very dead. Maybe this is like... Oh, game 8,000 Rite of Flames. Burning Wish for... Is somebody Burning Wish for just lethal here? Probably. Past in Flames? Yeah, this makes... Yeah, Past in Flames should kill me. Especially because I'm F6, so I wasn't repping, like, Surgical Extraction. But I'm also very lazy. Yeah, Tess, very not good matchup. Not surprising that we lost. There we go. Looks like my port probably wasn't relevant there. No, because he would have only had red mana, right? With Rite of Flames. Couldn't have produced black, possibly. I wonder if that was the wrong play or not. That's definitely something that could be talked about. I'm not sure if playing around Massacre was worth the Rashadenport on that turn. I do kind of just ignore the options to try to, like, gain advantage via the medium of playing Moto, right? Like, seeing that your opponent is F6 and making different lines because of it, I don't think it's very good testing, and that's mainly the reason, like, why I like to play on Moto. And, like, seeing that my opponent's F6 to be like, alright, yeah, now we can Past in Flames, then. Like, I don't care that I F6 through his turn, instead of, like, repping a Surgical Extraction. But I do think there is something to be discussed about whether or not the port was correct that turn. Because obviously, in hindsight, I think if I had ported that turn, then we might not have died. But obviously, hindsight's 20/20. And if we port that turn, maybe my opponent can, like, just, like, Burning Wish for a Massacre and just Massacre my board. And then we die. Your clock was slow, given that your hand was mono planes. I mean, that's accurate. We weren't gonna win. We were on a mull to 5, and we kept, like... Was it? I think it was... did we draw the mom? No, we were on the play. So we played the mom turn... No, we played the mom on turn 3, so we did draw the mom. I think we kept, like, 4-land Thalia. Pretty sure it was Plains, Caracas, Rashad, and Port Thalia is what we kept. I think there's definitely a chance, though, if we had, like... Assuming we had, like, Mom into Thalia, those hands are by themselves pretty hard for Test to answer. They need a ton of mana, although he could have produced a lot of mana with the Infernal Tutor for 1,000,000 Rite of Flames. Into Past and Flames for Rite of Flames. I think with our clock, and given our opponent's hand, we probably would not have been able to close it out, unless we had found something else. Like a Prelate on 2 or something. The shit? My other screen over here just went totally blank and just died. Just like it went white. If it turns off, all the windows are going to come flooding over to this screen. So figure out what the hell happened. Why did it just go totally white? Oh, now it's all black. Oh, now it's back. Alright, weird. Whatever. Lose our die roll again. On the draw, I hate these hands on the draw. On the play, maybe I keep, but going from losing to Force to losing to, like, Force Days Thoughtseize, plus, like, artifact removal, is harder to beat. I think we can just get better 6s than these hands. Especially because even with an Aether Vial, like, being deployed, our Plow doesn't do anything, our Stoneforge does close to nothing, so we can get better 6. We can also get a worse 6. That is another option. Jeez, these hands today have not been kind. Pokemon Professor, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I think we just keep this and find a white source. Like that. Oh, screen died again. Went all white. Whatever. I'm just gonna ignore it. So opponent could be on a lot of things with Polluted Delta Island. Doesn't exactly give us info. They did not shuffle. Show and tell. Sweet. I'm just dead on turn 2. Well, guess we're dead on turn 3 instead. Is it more worth it to Wasteland? Wasteland does nothing, right? Unless I had a Thalia in play, then Wasteland does something. I gotta play the GTA. This is all just assuming they don't have, like, the Emrakul in hand. We're not just dead. They just, like, cast some cantrips and can't find it. Okay, yeah, we're dead. Sweet. Some solid games today. A lot of dying on turn 2. So what did I board last time? cut Ballista, cut GT, cut Spirit Keeper, cut Remorseful Cleric, and cut Plows, I think I did. That looks about right. Yeah. So the key to this matchup, I talked about this yesterday when we played it in the semifinals. Oh, we played against Omnitel, but we also don't technically know that my opponent's not Omnitel, but I assume that most are just normal sneak and show at this point. So the keys to this matchup are Rashadenport, Thalia, and Sanctum Prelate. Most of your other cards don't matter that much, or are just supplementary to the plan of try to stall them while like slowly pecking at them, essentially. A lot of your other cards don't really matter. Sand, I actually like this hand. Chalice of the Void on the play is a lot better, because they only really get to fire off one cantrip, and we get to Violent our Thalia on turn 3 at least. We also can cast a Revoker. I like this hand well enough. It's not great. Like, if this was double Rashadenport, it'd be way better. We could also just play Chalice, and my opponent goes Soul Land, Show and Tell, kill you again. That's life. Oh, we drew a white source. Does that change anything? I think I still want to slam Chalice. Because if I play Thalia, they could still just go land another cantrip, whereas their flashpoint is really 3 mana when you want to start taxing them. So unless they have like Soul Land or Petal, I think just getting down a Chalice here is bigger game. Try to stall them from using cantrips to hit a bunch of land drops and like attack their mana with Thalia. We can like also, we're just dead on turn 2 anyway. Oh, Arcane Artisan, never mind, we got this. We have a Phyrexian Revoker for that. So now we get to Wasteland Ancient Tomb, Violent Thalia, Revoke Arcane Artisan. In no particular order. Pretty good board. Fortunately, this Arcane Artisan actually just, like, blocks one of our creatures indefinitely. Another Chalice of Void. I could Chalice on 0. Just to turn off Lotus Petals. Probably, but I mean, I can't cast my other Aether Vial, so it's probably okay. I'm probably never getting to Chalice on 2. Chalice on 2 also doesn't matter, really. It's mostly Chalice on 3, which requires like 6 mana. Yeah, we're just gonna run this out. Thanks for the 1-bit Aishinine. I should hope my opponent doesn't hit a bunch of land drops. Before we find something to take care of this Arcane Artisan. Recruiter of the Guard would be an excellent draw. Ooh, Crocus isn't bad, actually. Moxel with the 10 bits, thank you. So Crocus means their Arcane Artisan kind of sucks, even if they manage to like get my Revoker off the table. So they really need to find more lands. Ooh, that's Wastelandable. Wasteland this now in case they have like a removal spell. They probably would target the Revoker, but if they target the Thalia, I'd rather pick it up and then be able to recast it. This is the 10 bits Ice9. Yeah. This is a braid on that, which is totally fine because we have Caracas for the Arcane Artisan. Unfortunately, this means our clock is gone, so really need to find something. Ooh, wait, that doesn't work, right? Yeah, it creates the token, so... Lower Void... Moxel with the 2 bits and Lower Void with the 100 bits. Thank you. Thank you for your support, all of you. Our Containment Priest turns off our Vial, which is a little bit awkward. If we ever draw like a 3-drop, but I think we just need to put damage on the board at this point. We just need to clock my opponent before they find more lands like that. Immediately find the 3-drop. Second place, just like Cloud. Wow, mean. In before, like, non-legendary threat that's just gonna, like, blow me the fuck out. Puts in Grave Titan. Massacre Worm. Oh, Grizzlebrand, that's fine. You can have that back. You can't draw 7 or you're dead. Thanks for the 25 bits, Moxel. Thanks for the 4 bits, I shine. I don't remember if I said that one. Having some bit wars in the chat there. Interesting no block there. Oh yeah, block with the Arcane Artisan first. Just like to soak up 2 damage. Maybe they thought that I was bad? Like, that was what they were banking on, perhaps? Man, this Containment Priest is just so bad in play. I wish my opponent would kill it. Yeah, now they're blocking like that. This Containment Priest, just the actual worst card. Would be better with no text right now. Opponent keeps taking damage just to loot. Very risky. What are you making this time, opponent? Yeah, you can have that one back too. Guess they're just digging for like show and tell omniscience Emrakul me or something. So like a 1 o'clock. I mean, just like with the cards that we just immediately drew like a bunch of good cards with this vial, and just our Kadabra Priest is shutting off this vial and doing nothing else. Oh, what else should they be doing? I don't know. Like, they're obviously trying to find like Show and Tell Omniscience, Emrakul me, which they had to have like this turn, I think. Now they're probably just dead. There's a chance that they like just didn't want to make a bunch of Gristlebrands there. Keep them for post. Arcane Artisans is very... Yeah, Arcane Artisans is terrible against Caracas. Sometimes it lines up well against your Death and Taxes opponents, but a lot of the time it just, like, bites it to a Revoker, or, like, they wisp your Fatty, or they have Caracas in play and your Arcane Artisan does nothing. Arcane Artisan is aggressively a medium against Death and Taxes. Like, my opponent went turn 2, Ancient Tomb, and then, like, tapped 3 mana. I was like, oh shit, I'm dead. Because they're just gonna, like, Show and Tell Omniscience kill me. And just played an Arcane Artisan, and it just went so much better for me. The card is not at its best in the Death and Taxes matchup. Even if you, like, boarded out your removal. Because you just have so many other tools to deal with it. 2 Revokers, Council's Judgments, Flicker Wisps kill a Fatty, Palace Jailer eats it. Talk about what? Oh yeah, Caracas beats it up. It's very mana intensive every turn, and Death and Taxes oftentimes taxes you a lot on your mana. It's definitely not super strong. I think we're just gonna run it back and get a little lucky. Canards and Omni are the primary. They beat Containment Priest. They also usually have 1 to 2 Braid, so they don't really have many choices here. Yeah, it's like fine, but they don't even care that much about Containment Priest because the Death and Taxes matchup is so much about Omniscience that like I don't even like Containment Priest that much in this matchup because like I think almost every single game I've lost in the past like forever since they've been playing Omniscience are Omniscience kills. I have almost never died to just Show and Tell in an Emrakul or something. Or Sneak Attack, attack you with Gristlebrand Emrakul or whatever. It's almost always been losing to Omniscience. This hand sucks. Thanks for the 12 bits, Aisha9. This hand also sucks. Put a mulligan to 6. Can doing nothing with Mana Denial be... Hi, Batterskull. I've enjoyed Batterskull so much. I don't know why. I think we can get better 5s than this. This looks like Aether Vial, port them, hope I can port Wasteland them, which is not super strong. They're on 6, but I think just any hand with Thalia is better. Yeah, like this one. This one's way better. Deal. We have Thalia, set up Recruiter for Prelate, and we have Caracas to beat Arcane Artisan. Ooh, and we have a Mother Rose to protect the Thalia. I'm gonna top that. I think this is my 3rd Mold-a-5. I've Mold-a-5 once in every single match today. Oh man, we're just like turn 1'd. There's no reason to play your Lotus Petal on turn 1 in this matchup. Oh, I guess I did Chalice on 0 last game. So I guess no reason is strong. Thanks for the 51 bits, Smoxall. I don't think this is a matchup, unlike Storm, where you want to lead with Mom to protect the Thalia, especially when I'm trying to develop Aether Vial to quicken the pace at which we can go find not Palace Jailer, Sanctum Prelate, or even like Leon and Relic Warder if need be. We just need to get this Aether Vial up to 3 really fast, especially not guaranteed hitting the 3rd land drop here. Next turn we're just slamming Thalia and Vialing in Mom. Yeah, you're kind of getting wrecked in the Bit War today, Aisha9. Jesus, my opponent has turn 2'd me. Maybe I spoke too soon. But if my opponent casts Show and Tell here, this is the third time they've turn 2'd me. Turn 2 Show and Tell into turn 2 Arcane Artist and into turn 2 something, possibly, maybe. Doesn't look like that Wasteland hand would have been really good against this opener. Oh shit. We're not getting turn 2'd this time? I'm going to put a literal dollar in my wallet. Thanks. So now if we draw a third land, we can, like, recruit Relic Order if need be. Again, this is all predicated on them not show and telling me. Oh man, Army of Thalia with the 200 bits. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Coming in here dunking on some people. Back to YouTube Piner. I don't know if I want to cast Recruiter here. I think I do, but for what? Are we just, like, very good against everything besides Omniscience that we just preemptively go get Relic Order and leave this Vial on 2? Because the more proactive plan, and probably better plan, would be go get Sanctum Prelate, but then we are dead to, like, a Show and Tell exactly next turn, but they haven't had it yet. Although they had access to 4 mana and didn't Show and Tell. They only have 3 cards left in hand. But I think if we just go get Relic Order, we have it, like, pretty locked up. Especially with Mom in play. We'd also just get down Crusader next turn. Don't want to get down Crusader this turn. Just ignore both of those options. If they Show and Tell and Omniscience, I put in Recruiter. They still get to cast something. But if they cast an Emrakul, now they get the extra turn and my Karakas will be tapped. Notably, they also could have, like, a Braid. No, they can't Braid Thalia because they let me on tap with Mom. I think we're going to go the safe route. And just recruit up a Relic Order. They might, like, K-return me here. Now, if they were K-returning me, then they wouldn't have played the Petal. But yeah, Karaga should lock up most of their non-Omniscience things, and Relic Order should hopefully lock up their Omniscience kill. Especially with Mom in play, giving up the works. They could, like, potentially sneak attack. Oh, they're doing that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't think about this exact turn, although couldn't have done anything about this, right? I guess I could have got Revoker, but I don't think that that's, like, necessarily the right play. Let's see what they have. If it's Grizzlebrand, is it nothing? I think I still do need to Relic Ward this. It is very dangerous to let them keep that in play. So now we can take this up to 3. Now it's time to just recruit Prelate. Prelate on 3 here. Then if they have Pyroclasm, we can still save like the Relic Order. And if they have K-Return, then the Recruiter stops it. Pyroclasm's the worst case, I think, but in that case, we still get to keep this Relic Order alive, which is our primary plan right now. Mom is really bad attack with all value, indeed. So exactly Pyroclasm is best for them, which does, like, wrath me pretty hard. But A, if they don't have it, they're super dead. And B, if they do have it, they still have to, like, find both halves of the combo. Since they didn't have a fatty, because they didn't, like, murder me with the sneak attack. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Yeah, they go to 2. And then we'll have, like, Crusader on file. Also turns off their Ancient Tomb. Crunch. Luckily, my opponent can't settle the wreckage me here. Army. Abrade the Relic Order. Okay. So this is trying to open up a window, I suppose. So we do have to save this, obviously. Now they could Pyroclasm Wrath me. Excuse me, I'm the Settle guy. I thought Army's the one that always says, like, they never play around Settle. But I suppose you two, they don't have the mana to settle the wreckage me there. So they need, like, Clasm into... Yeah, they're just dead. Cool. We did it. They had 3 mana, Pyroclasm into Activate Sneak. No, we still have Caracas and then kill them at that point. Settles for nerds. Alright. 11 wins, 8 losses, 5 match wins there. Lost game 1, won games 2 and 3. So he's talking about how Static's Vintage Deck couldn't beat the card. Oh, okay. I was referring to Army always talks about, like, no one plays around Settle the Wreckage, even when we're talking about formats that no one plays around Settle the Wreckage because no one has it ever. Or in positions where, like, your opponent can't cast Settle the Wreckage. It's like, oh, you didn't play around Settle the Wreckage when your opponent had Volcanic Underground Sea basic Swamp Up. Or the time that we, like, explicitly played around Settle the Wreckage, then he was like, he didn't play around Settle the Wreckage when we were on Bant Spirits. And I was like, well, if my opponent has Snap Settle the Wreckage, then we just win, because we have Spell Queller. To be fair, I was playing into a second Settle the Wreckage plus, like, a counter spell or a removal spell in that instance. Also, I don't think Army's here, so I'm just gonna keep shit-talking him. Also, I don't know if I missed Eichenein's coming back in with the 200 bits. 200 bit donation, I appreciate it. I was kind of focused on the end of that match there, but... Eichenein taking back the crown. Already round 4. It hasn't even been an hour yet. Oh, we win a die roll. Nice. Can I keep a hand of 7 cards? we'll keep this on the play on a 6. Someone asked why I didn't play around settle on turn 5 of turns. It's a good time to not play around settle. We'll keep this on 6. Ooh, second land. Definitely makes this hand better. What is my opponent doing? Are they doing fair things? Are they doing unfair things? Oh man. Moxall with the 400-bit donation. I appreciate it. You guys have stopped throwing pennies. You guys are throwing literal dollars at me now. I'm impressed. It's usually like the army versus... Who is it? Who's the other person? Is it Yeheni that also engages in the penny throwing bit wars? I know Moxall's came in a couple times with like 100 bits or whatever to stomp on the penny throwing donations. This is more fun than subbing fair. Someone gets you an emote. Throwing bits around gets you in petty bit wars. So, what am I doing? Am I just like stone forging for sort of Fire and Ice in the blind? Because that's the best against a lot of the Delta Island Ponder decks. Because it could be like Miracles, could be Grixis, could be any combo deck. So I think hedging my bets the most is stone forging for sort of Fire and Ice. I could also grab Batterskull, which doesn't suck against some of those decks, but it could also easily just die if we're not against a combo deck. And then my Batterskull stranded in hand. I think we're going to get sort of Fire and Ice to hedge our bets here. Assuming this doesn't get countered. Yeah, I agree. I think sort of Fire and Ice is the best in the mostly blind. When I know they're on like either a fair blue deck or a combo deck, or like a slower blue deck or a combo deck. Either one of those sort of Fire and Ice is fine, and I'd rather have sort of Fire and Ice than Batterskull. Oh, against... I hope this isn't Storm. I hope this is... I honestly, like, I'd rather play against Grixis than Storm, just because now we get to play a game of Magic. At least. Which is just colossally more interesting. Draw a land, I'm probably just going to plow this Strix. I can't attack anyway. I'm putting in this sword here. Maybe... Do I want to deploy Mom and plow the Strix? I don't necessarily want to put in this sword until I have a Vial up for Flicker Wisp, because next turn is my opponent's K-Command turn. And if they just go land 3 pass, and I put in the sword end of turn, they just shatter it and either shock my guy, make me discard or whatever. I don't hate just plow plus Mom plus attack here. This plow's not getting any better. And it does, like, create something that they have to deal with. They might, like, K-Command, kill the Mom, shatter the Vial, and that gets awkward because we only have 2 lands. So maybe I want the sort of Fire and Ice as just, like, shatter fodder. Because we actually kind of need this Vial right now. Yeah, maybe I like that more. We'll pass. Hopefully my opponent slams main deck Liliana the Last Hope, and then we just wreck their life. Violent Revoker, put in sword, equip sword attack. Yeah, this is just leaving up K-Command. Surprise, surprise. I think I'm just using this sword as shatter fodder. something in response? That seems not correct. But okay. Was they like just banking on me not having a 2-drop here? Name Jace the Mind Sculptor, I guess. Man, I really want to play this Thalia, but I definitely need to like get this value in while I can, especially if we hit a land drop. The question is, do I kill this Baleful Strix? Because if they have a second K command, they Shadow the Sword, buy back Strix, and that's terrible for me, and I have this Plow to kill it already. We are mana tight, though. Alternatively, I deal them. They take 6 here. They go to 13, we draw a card. If I could guarantee drawing a basic Plains, I'd shock their face. I think I still want to shock the Strix here. Plow has other targets. It's game 1. They might have, like, Gurmag. We did draw the basic Plains. Well, now we did play Mom, at least. Chakekik, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Force the Mom. Deal. Force pitching True Name. Fucking deal. I'll take it. So the worst case here is that they have second K command and they get to like Shadow the Sword, buy back their Strix, which is definitely unfortunate, but such is life against Grixis. Multiple K commands are the hardest hands to beat. Forcing the Mom's interesting though. Womp womp. They had exactly the thing I didn't want them to have. They don't have a land, though. Oh, never mind. So they're playing Strix next turn. Probably. I think I just want to Thalia Wasteland them. I'm not Wastelanding their other blue, their other black. I think I'm Wastelanding their other blue. Double black's not that scary anymore with, like, him. Double blue keeps them off Jace, assuming they kill this at some point. It also keeps them off of, like, casting cantrips. Would love to draw that Wasteland, like, last turn. Would have been the best fucking draw off of, that sword trigger. Although, I guess if they had the third land, it wasn't a huge deal. Or the fourth land, rather. So they just go Strix Pass. We have to actually spend our whole turn plowing it. But then we hit them for 3, quote-unquote, put them to 9. I'm not Strixing. Do they also have land Strix? No. They would just have him. My last 2 cards. Yeah, fuck. Guess that's life. Time to port them off of blue and pray. Yep. The third 2-for-1 really does you in. Just don't hit land drops. Just pass the turn. Thank you. Just let me kill you with this Phyrexian Revoker. I almost want to save this wasteland for like another blue source that they find, but I think I just want to cut them off of as much land as possible every turn. Always good to see more legacy content. Good to hear. I love making legacy content. I was doing a little bit of modern, but modern is not in a place that I enjoy right now. So I've just been completely foregoing it recently. Second swamp. This is Gurmag. Oh, this is just Fatal Push. Alright, there goes my clock. Womp womp. I'm gonna hold this. Like, draw step K commands. There's no reason to play it yet. Really want to draw like Thalia would be probably our best draw here. Ah, the perfect draw. Oh no, is the clip dead? Or is that just the link in my chat? Oh yeah, no, the clip's alive. I don't know why it says we couldn't find that clip. In my planes, sure. Oof, Ballista, huh? Do I let them cast the Strix, or do I just Ballista for 1? This would be a nice time to have a 6th land in play. I think I just want Ballista for 1, honestly. Keep putting them off of the Strix. They could easily just have removal spells, too. Just keeping them off of that, that blue mana for as long as possible seems pretty relevant. Especially if their hands filled with, like, ponders and such, too. Alright, so they finally hit this, so now we're, assuming this Ballista lives, we're going to pump it, ping the Strix, and attack. It does give them a window to have, like, double blue, and stuff like Ponder and Jace would not be surprising cards for them to have. Really hope they don't have, like, Snap K Command, kill both my guys. Let me untap. Let me untap. Let me untap, opponent. Don't do me like this. They're screenshotting the Snapcaster in their hand. Okay, well, at least we can't get, like, Snap K commanded. I can find the 3rd K command here. They can just find, like, a removal spell. Shuffled on the Ponder. Brainstorm, sure. Let me untap. Find nothing. 3 lands on that Brainstorm. Weird how this game would have actually panned out way differently had I just, like, played that 6th land. Was not playing around me top decking Walking Ballista. Maybe that was more likely than them finding, like, third Kolaghan's Command or snap Kolaghan's Command in my draw step at this point. Maybe that was correct. I wasn't playing around and finding exactly this, though. And then also it getting himmed. Which is obviously the downside of sometimes you sandbag lands and they get himmed away where they wouldn't, but sometimes you sandbag lands and you get K-Command and your sandbag land is great. So no decision is without some amount of applicability. Pass it. No, stop. Pass the turn. Jesus, digging deep. Luckily, they can't fight Snapcaster anymore because they're out of blue here. They've already cast a Fatal Push and a Bolt and 2 K-Commands. There we go. Well, that's terrible. Okay, this one I would literally rather hold in hand than deploy. Oh, wow. Just concede to that. Sweet. Whew. Stealing that game 1. It's dicey. It's not looking great. I guess if they, if they didn't have another fetch land, and with that brainstorm, they know if they're dead or not. So that's fair. Alright, so sideboard plan. What the fuck just happened? My opponent cast 3 cantrips, found nothing, and then conceded. That's totally fine. I don't know what you're talking about, Moxwell. Don't worry about it. So we ordered these. What do we cut? Cut plows and a revoker. 3 cards in 3 cards in concede. Yeah, I don't know what they were. What I don't know what those 3 cards could have been besides like more lands, which they probably weren't. Discard, I guess, like more hymns and thought seizes. Yeah, I don't know what else they could have had, honestly. Did they just concede on the spot there? So am I boarding in these freaking chalices, is the question. I think the answer is no. Kind of hate Chalice. And the more I look at Grixis lists, the more I really don't like boarding in Chalice. Maybe it's okay. I do have to try it, I think. I think I just need to start testing it some more, so we're going to do some experimental sideboarding, in which case we leave in our Revoker and just cut all the moms. Do it for science, exactly. I don't think I am in the camp of liking Chalice, and it's hard to test, especially just like against random people, because at the end of the game, if you win with a Chalice in play, it's hard to know a lot of the time how good it was for you. Yeesh, this hand sucks. Yeesh, this hand sucks. Say it's close. We have Cataclysm. This is like actually close to a keep. We have a lot of insane cards if we just draw running lands. Cards in second place. Watched most of the vid. Very enjoyable. Thanks. I appreciate it. It was a sweet run. I had a lot of fun playing. Guarantee that my top 3 cards are lands. So maybe this is a keep. I'm gonna draw. How bad is this hand on the draw? I think it's like a non-wasteland deck. Like Thalia, Chalice. I'm gonna keep it. Cataclysm's absolutely nuts in this matchup, and you usually get time to cast it. Chalice seems pretty meh with all... Yeah, exactly. I'm not a big fan of Chalice. I know Phil has been trying it, but you turn off like around 14 cards, I think, in the average Grixis deck. You turn them off, which definitely isn't a super good number. Especially just because of how negative tempo is. Like, look at this hand. I'm going to play a Chalice on turn 2 into my opponent's 3 mana turn, and I'm just going to have, like, no pressure. They're going to cast a Baleful Strix here. I would love to cast Thalia, but the Thalia in my hand demands, unless I find a land, then maybe I deploy Thalia first. But this Chalice just looks dopey. I think I still like Chalice first, because turn 3 I can then play Thalia with Caracas backup. Opponent's scary turn 3 plays consist of exactly Liliana Last Hope, in which case we have Council's Judgment for it as well. Yeah. It's definitely just for testing. I'm not convinced that it's good enough. I'm definitely not convinced it's good enough against specifically Grixis. It seems pretty mopey. Hopefully my opponent's entire hand is Fatal Pushes and Cantrips and Lightning Bolts. You got me, opponent. It's like TNN, we have Council Judgment too. Yeah. Get out of here, True Nemesis. Be really sad if my opponent forced this. Yeah. Pretty sure if they had forced it, they just like snap force so well that one. Cannot let that one stick around though. If we get like Chalice on 1 and Prelate on 3, it's not bad, especially with like a buffer creature in case of Edict. And they just slam Jace here though. It's looking pretty bad. We have Revoker for it. If we draw land, we can like Thalia plus Revoker. Try to develop multiple threats, especially going into like Cataclysm turns. Again, we just need to draw running lands for like the next 2 turns. Like, if they play Jace, and then my turn is Revoker, and then they just K-Command, Shatter the Chalice, Shock the Revoker, I just, like, absolutely just never winning the game. Yeah. That's step 1 of their plan. We really need to draw land 4 here. For, like, Revoker plus Thalia, and to try to set up, like, Cataclysm killing the Jace and leaving me with a threat in play. Can't really afford to Maybe we can. It seems dicey. They haven't missed a land drop yet either. Cataclysm is usually best the moment your opponent misses a land. Oof. That is, Rogue Jace plus Wasteland Red Source. Not terrible idea, but considering, yeah, they haven't missed a land drop yet, and they just brainstorm with Jace, and they get, like, I guess they don't get another Jace brainstorm, but I would not be, like that's like the Hail Mary fingers crossed play. What about just Prelate on 3 here? I think always just Jace on summon. This Caracas is just... This is why you don't play 3rd Caracas, is because these hands suck. But sometimes you play against a bunch of red-black, and then Caracas is great. I don't love the Revoker plus Cross Fingers line. I also don't really love the Thalia plus Revoker plus, like, Lotus Petal my Caracas line. I think Thalia Revoker is my best bet here. They could even, like, leave the Chalice in play, though, and just K-Command kill them both. Let's hope my opponent doesn't have Kolaghan's Command. No one plays that bad card, right? So assuming they K-command me, we can then, like, Prelate on 3, hope they just, like, draw some cards or something, and then hope to, like, rip land Cataclysm. They probably can still kill the Prelate in response with, like, a Diabolic Edict or something. And you start rebuilding to race this 17-turn Strix clock. Maybe they don't have it. Maybe this is a cantrip. Oh, damn it. This is definitely Call Against Command. Yeah. Yeah, like Thoughtseize me too. Hang on, F5. Oh, Chalice of Light, never mind. I was probably going to concede to that Thoughtseize if I didn't have Chalice in play. Because I didn't want to show them Cataclysm, and we were pretty dead here. Just going to put Preld on 3. Ooh, 4th land. That's not bad. I don't want to wasteland them, though, because this Cataclysm is basically my only hope. I just need to hope they don't have, like, Diabolic Edict here. And I also hope they don't decide to Jace Unsummon. We'll need a lot of things to break well for me to get this. They also need to, like, not him to Turok my Cataclysm. I will say this, that Chalice of the Void does combine well with exactly Sanctum Prelate. We've had that come up in a number of matchups here. Chalice of the Void as just like, okay, they are just bouncing it. If this is like bouncing to him, I'll concede. Oh yeah, bouncing to him. Alright, we're good here. What matchup is Chalice for? Mainly combo decks like Storm and also Miracles. It's essentially the old Ethersworn Canonist slot, which was kind of a mainstay for a long time, as like just guaranteed if you're playing Death Attacks, you have like 2 Ethersworns on the sideboard. You just swap them out with Chalice of the Voids because it's still very applicable in the Storm matchup while coming in versus some of the fair decks, especially Miracles specifically. Against Grixis, it's a lot weaker, but maybe still worth it, which is why kind of we're giving it a try. But I definitely don't think it's very strong. Obviously, I don't know how many 1-drops my opponent ended the game there with, but Chalice did about as much as I thought it was going to do that game, which is, like, they still get to cast a lot of their power spells. It doesn't hiccup them too much unless they're, like, missing land drops. It is embarrassingly bad on the draw, I think. Maybe on the play it's good enough when you, like, slam it on 2. And, like, hopefully you catch them on a land light hand that they were trying to cantrip out of. But they usually don't want to be keeping those because turn 2 Thalia kills them from those hands as well. I think Chalice is just not very good in this matchup, and I think I'd rather just have Moms in my deck still. So if I cut 3 Chalices, I just bring back in 4 Moms and cut a Revoker. Oof. God, Revoker's so bad in this matchup, too. Holy shit. Shouldn't do Thalia with, like, backup port. No, this hand sucks. This hand also... this hand sucks because we just have this stupid Batterskull in it again. But not tutoring Batterskull means sometimes they just don't kill the Batterskull. We also have Mirror Crusader. On 6, this is definitely a keep. If we can, like, sneak the Batterskull in, just tutor up, like, sort of Fire and Ice. Sometimes they don't kill the Stoneforge, then surprise Batterskull them. But if they just, like, have a mana sitting around here, they have a push or a bolt, they probably just kill the Stoneforge, then untap to him me or whatever. Yeah. Push, too, not even Bolt. If it was Bolt, at least, like, this Mirror Crusader gets better, but push means they still have bolts in their deck. Is it him time? Take the best 2 cards, go for it. Yep, took the 3rd land. I think 3rd land Crusader would have been the best hit, but they definitely were always going to leave me with Batterskull with that him. Because I have the absolute worst him luck. Him to Turok always just destroys my life. Opponent's just gonna like land Liliana, the last hope. Then we're gonna miss 3rd land again. Probably draw like any 3 in my deck, or Palace Jailer probably. Because that could have gone worse. Because it means you don't have to auto-lose to Massacre from Storm. I'd be curious to see how much better it is than Candace, considering you can't recruit her for the Chalice. Massacre still costs 4, so it doesn't beat Massacre. It's mainly turn 1 interaction. So the big thing is that the highest density of turns that you lose to Storm are before you make your 2nd land drop. So Canonist as Canonist as Thalia's 5 and 6 out of the sideboard aren't really that good when you're losing a lot of the time just like before you get to untap, especially on the draw. And even when you're on the play, Chalice on 1 is like arguably like equally devastating as like obviously not Aethersworn, because Aethersworn is literally tick off the board or they can't win. Yes, not hitting 3rd land drop, playing bad cards that are still in my deck. But it's mainly to have earlier, cheaper interaction. Well, they don't have Liliana, or else they would have just definitely played it. So we'll just name Jace. And it's not just the fact that it's like possibly better, maybe worse versus Storm. It's the fact that it's good against Storm and then also applicable in these matchups where Aethersworn is really bad, like Miracles, where you just like you don't want Aethersworn cannons. This card is very bad. It, like turns off their Snapcasters, but Chalice is very good in that matchup. I was hoping my opponent just casts Jace the Mind Sculptor. We'll miss the line drop again. Draw 3 drop. Sounds about right. I need a 2 drop, because we get to keep casting spells. We can guaranteed to have a spell next turn. Because I shouldn't say guarantee. My opponent's a Hymn to Turok deck. What? What? I'll take it? Yeah. Alright. That was an anticlimactic way to end that match. Maybe my opponent had to go? Just like, alright, well, I'm just gonna see this guy. Really gotta go somewhere. I got nothing. I have no explanation. There's no feasible reason my opponent concedes that board state. So this is how you beat Grixis Control. Like, my opponent's hand could be all lands, and then we're still not guaranteed to win that game. I've just been playing a lot of Ant lately. So yeah, I've been also thinking about the Ant matchup a lot. And the Ant matchup's really infuriating in my mind, which is why I've added the 3rd Chalice. Because the Ant matchup is very coin flippy. like winning game 1 is so huge in the Ant matchup because then in the post board games, Ant knows you're not a forcible deck, so they're just slamming their foot on the gas pedal and just like going and killing you as fast as possible, which is why cheap interaction like Chalice comes into play, because sometimes they don't get to kill you on turn 2 on the draw if you just like jam the Chalice on 0. But and it's really frustrating because sometimes you'll lose the die roll, or you'll keep a hand that doesn't have a Thalia and you'll die game 1. And then game 2 you can win because you're on the play, you can play your 2-drop Hadal all the time. And then game 3, you will just often die before you get your second land. Which is why I've been trying to slant my deck a little bit more towards hedging the Ant matchup, because it's very, very coin flippy in my experience, and it's kind of annoying. I'd rather have like a more favorable matchup than... So we won pre-board. I don't know what happened. There's no conceivable reason my opponent concedes there. My opponent's hand could have been all lands, and like there's still a chance we lose. Like if my opponent top decks a Snapcaster after that, we spend an entire turn putting sword into play. They attack with like, and then I equip the sword to something and attack them. And then like if they find a Snapcaster or another Kolaghan's Command or even just removal spells, there's no gameplay reason why my opponent concedes there. It had to have just been like, oh, gotta go, busy doing something else, time to put away MTGO, I guess. That's like the only actual explanation there. Can I stop drawing Batterskull in my openers for like 1 second? Did I secretly pick up an emblem that's like Batterskull starts in your opening hand? Alright, that was a good 6. So my opponent have pre-game effects? Oh no, we're scrying. God, I hate scrying Plow at the top in game 1. We're on the draw. And there are like some number of decks on Plow, but I think at least it's not Dryad Arbor, that's fair. I imagine every single Green Sun Zenith deck out there is the same way. Maverick is just even worse. Your openers always have Dryad Arbor and Batterskull in them. if you're on like Stoneforge top. Just like there's so many decks that Plow's not good against. I guess that's not true, because even against like Miracles or Grixis, 1 Plow isn't the worst. So I think I am gonna top this. And we're already good against like combo decks with Thalia. I think I do want that on the top. Thalia Recruiter or Morals Cleric for matchups for Plow is bad, yeah. And we even have like Recruiter gets like Show and Tell, which would probably be the worst outcome here in terms of keeping Plow on top. I don't know what they're doing, but less inclined to think that they're combo. Combo decks usually like to cast their cantrips on turn 1 rather than hit land drops. Definitely doesn't rule combo out. Are we dead? Well, if they're Storm, we at least get to play Remorseful Cleric, which does something, has text. If they're... yeah. In fairness, Grixis probably makes that same play. But I do think this is Storm. In which case we're just Cleric, and then recruiting for Prelate. Assuming we get that far, obviously. Or top decking Thalia. Nope. Now we test Chalice. Yeah, we played against... did we play against Ant today? I think we... no, we played against Tess, and we died horribly. Oh, nice. Playing against Ant and dying horribly. I guess technically it could be Tess still, but... it's a pretty good start. What is this? Adnaz with 2 mana? They killed 2 Lion's Eyes, though. So it's not impossible for them to not make it here. Come on, don't hit tendrils. Don't hit tendrils or LEDs. Alright. Yes, we did it! We won! Suck it. Tasted storm. Opponent just keeps going for funsies. Sometimes I like to see how far down they would have had to go. In fairness, my opponent's Adnaz outcomes weren't that high, right? Because they had killed 2 LEDs. So the only way they find tendrils is by hitting tendrils or hitting one of their 2 leftover lions on diamonds before they kill themselves. They could have, like, stopped and tried to combo with, like, a like, they had 2 petals. I think they should have stopped at the duress. Because they had 2 petals, so they could cast, like, Preordain, Ponder or something, and dig an extra 9 cards. Because they already have mana, right? They have Rain of Filth, which produces 3 extra. So, I guess technically they can only tutor twice, I think. We've stopped at Preordain. I mean, if they can't die, there's no reason to not keep going, right? So, because if they just hit tendrils, then I'm straight dead. So we keep going, start using cantrip. Yeah, exactly. They have, like, double petal. I think they do want to stop at the duress. Because they're guaranteed alive, especially because they discarded the Dark Magician. So they're guaranteed to live as long as they don't hit anything. But, yeah. The opponent was going for finding LEDs, I guess. Anyway, Chalice of the Voids. Get your Palace Jailer. Chalice of the Voids, Rest in Peace, Relic Order, Recruiter, Council's Judgment, kill Ballista, kill Spirit Keeper, 2 Wisps, Jite Plows. Yeah, looks like the sideboard plan. People are starting to move back to Massacre over Dread of Night. I'm not sure, like, preemptively boarding in these Council's Judgments is correct anymore. It's so hard to track when Massacre is good versus when Dread of Night is good. So it's hard to know when you want to be boarding in. I think I just want to mull this hand. This hand is weird because it looks like it has a lot of good tools to win this matchup. Maybe I don't mull this hand, especially on the draw. Like, I guess not especially on the draw. I do aggressively mull in the Ant matchup, and I think any hand with Thalia in it is going to be way better than this one. Or Chalice, because we're on the draw. This hand has tools, but none of them are especially good. Do I want this hand? This hand's like it's just a bunch of, like, soft hate that doesn't do a lot. I did say any hand with Thalia. I think I am actually going to keep this. On the draw, we have a lot of draws to find a white source. Yeah, like that one. This hand's better than the 7 for sure. We're probably still going to die. Probably before we hit the land drop. But going to lead with Rashad Port here, notably. If we draw exactly Caracas, we can play around Massacre. Not a big deal, but definitely non-zero. Don't kill me! Oh, cool, we're dead. Maybe they'll Adnaz me again. They got the double LED line again. It's the exact same situation as last time. Double LED, Adnaz at 2 mana. Gotta hit LEDs or the tendrils. Oh, they do have Massacre. Important if we go to game 3. Are they going to stop here? Do they learn their lesson? Does hand even have enough mana? What's up, Arkin? I guess they learned their lesson from last game, and they stopped here. Alright, so casting a Ponder. They didn't have enough mana, I guess, because this goes to 3, down to 1, up to 6 mana. And they have 2 petals, so they have like 8 mana. And they use these petals for Preordain and Brain. I think they wanted to Preordain first, right? Because you like scry 2 to the bottom aggressively. Oh, they didn't shuffle, that's not good. Petal. Petal. We're 3-1 right now. I don't know if there's a record command in here. Oh, nope, there is. That's how MTG Belt works. Please Thoughtseize me so I can have 6. Brainstorming. Didn't they keep on the Ponder? What would they have kept on the Ponder if they need to also cantrip? I guess maybe like 2 of the top 3 cards? Oh, they found the LED, now we're dead, yeah. I think they should have done this line last time, and I think it definitely would have worked out for them. Unfortunate. If we had Surgical here, we could have got them too. Surgical, they're Infernal Tutors. Ooh, they found Empty. Was that their plan? But then they just brainstormed before they emptied? That's what I mean. Sometimes you just, like, often post-board you will lose before you hit your second land drop, which is why Chalice is so important. But luckily we're on the play game 3, so I feel good about our spot unless we mulligan into Oblivion. Like, the ability to have Chalice and Thalia on the play just makes the matchup significantly better when you're on the play. Sand, on the other hand, sucks. So does this one. This is another way to lose. Like, you don't draw your 7-odd pieces of hate. At 5, I think I start to keep mediocre hands, especially on the play. Stuff like Revoker, Rest in Peace, Remorseful Cleric in terms of medium hate. But yeah, gonna snap mulligan the 6. The 6 sucks. My 7 sucked. I think I keep this on 5. We have Recruiter. Oh, I forgot about our Judgment. Shit. This would be a Flicker Wisp, which wouldn't really change my opinion of this hand. Do I go to 4? With Remorseful Cleric, my opponent's on 6, we're on the play. There's a chance we can get to, like, recruiting prelates and stuff, especially with the Scry. I think I might keep this on a 5. Oh, hot dog. It's better than any 4 you're going to reasonably get. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, especially on the play. I mean, the only better 4s are involving 2 lands on Thalia or, like Chalices. But I think at 5, this hand's good enough. The Council Judgment's awkward because we know it's close to dead. Thoughtseize me. Do it. Nice. We got Chalice on the top of our deck. Easy mode. Thinking more Chalice on 1 since it's usually a lot worse. Makes a lot more sense when you're talking about Chalice for 0 and Thalia. Yeah. Chalice on 1 is, like, again, like the 2 mana, 2 slow thing. But sometimes you Chalice on 1, like right here, if you have the opportunity to. Chalice on 1 is stronger against Ant than Chalice on 2 is. Or Chalice on 0. But Chalice on 0 is just a necessity so you don't die before you hit your second land drop. Now we just need to hit a land drop for Recruiter here. What's this? Like an Infernal Tutor? hope this isn't We Die. Yeah, this is just Infernal Tutor for... Yeah, Cabal Writs. Let's draw a Rip. Surgical. Thalia. Third Land. Would accept most of these. Not a good one. Oh, shit. Very not good. Just muscle memory that one into play. Not that it particularly matters. Oh, yeah, I guess Surgical... Opponent also... I think my opponent's actually building Storm... Or building a Threshold here for Cabal Writ. I don't think that was just, like... Especially after I just, like, cast my own spell into the Chalice, I don't think my opponent's just blindly throwing things into the Chalice either. Oh, thank God. Let's go grab Prelate, right? I think I want to Prelate on 4. We know my opponent has Massacre. Prelate on 2 would obviously shut off their Cabal rituals. Chalice is a fair card. It affects both players equally. We did see my opponent having Abrupt Decay, though. Yeah, opponent's just trying to build up Threshold for these Writs. Forces off them winning. But yeah, again, they do have like Abrupt Decays in their deck. 2 also shuts off like Hercule's Recall, or like whatever the other bounce spell is, Echoing Truth, if they're like trying to deal with Chalice. 4 only shuts off Massacre and the kill conditions. Are you just gonna like die through Chalice on one? They do have a shit ton of mana. They have like red, and then what is this? They each have 6 black. Oh yeah, Ad Nauseam, I'm dumb. But Ad Nauseam is definitely beatable from 1 mana. They need to hit a lot of like Lotus Petals here, right? Ad Nauseam is dicey. Wait, have they played a land for turn? No, they haven't, so maybe not. Oh shit. Double LED and Petal? Oh, this is horrible for me. Are we just... No, we're not dead, though. They don't have... Oh, no, they do have mana. Shit, they have 2, 5... That's lethal, I think? Wow. Yeah, I don't think Adnos was the right line at all. I think the line was very loose. But maybe not, because they knew the Prelate was coming down and they needed to, like, go for it. But that Adnos was supremely risky. They got a really good Adnos, though. Yeah, this is just Infernal Tutor Tendrils you. I think they could have won at the Dark Petition. Yeah, shame. If we did the land drop 1 turn sooner instead of the Mom, we could have had the Prelate down faster. Unfortunate. I got them there. I think they were easier ways to win after they played the Infernal Tutor. I don't know. I think it was necessity. You obviously got punished for not playing Chalice. 0. They also did cast like double Dark Writ into the Chalice and like the Ponder into the Chalice and stuff. So the Chalice was good. Just a shame. They had to get pretty lucky. Hang on, let me check exactly what they needed there to kill me on 1 mana. They need to hit a land, which isn't that obviously that lucky. They need to hit a land and then a 3rd Cabal Writ gives them 5 mana. They need another mana, so they need to hit either like the 4th Cabal Writ or a Petal, and then also another Infernal Tutor or something. I have to add Nas knowing Prelate was going, yeah. It was definitely out of necessity, but it was definitely a bad spot to add Nas. Like, it was just a spot that was not going to get there more often than it gets there. I hate the Storm matchup. I don't hate it because it's bad. I just hate it because it's not enjoyable. D&D doesn't really get to play games of Magic against Storm. You mostly just, like, you mulligan to cards, you cast them, and then cross your fingers. There's not, like, interactive games of Magic a lot of the time. Which doesn't happen against a lot of decks for Death and Taxes. Like, even against, like, Red Black Reanimator or Show and Tell, you can play a game of Magic that's pretty back and forth. But most games against Storm are just very uninteresting, and I'm kind of... It's unfortunate that it's so popular right now. I want to hedge my sideboard more for it, but I'm not really sure what I can do. Other than, like, playing dumb stuff. But there is a ton of Storm online, so... If your deck beats Storm, start playing it. What's up, Yaz? We're just wrapping up the stream here. Find someone to host. You guys run something stupid like Mind Break Traps. I have done it before. I would do it again. Dan Lynch 83 looks like the other streamer right now in Legacy, so we'll host him. Playing some Red Prison in Legacy. Thanks for streaming, that's what I meant. Ah, it's not good. I play paper so I can encourage Storm players to play something else by running Miracles or Blue Black Shadow. Fair. But yeah. Again, I'm gonna, like, I will die on the gravestone of, like, Death and Taxes versus Storm is pretty close. It feels very, very, like, 50-50. We did win game 1, and we lost game 2, like it normally goes. And we did lose game 3 on the play, which also obviously does happen. You're not guaranteed to win just because you're on the play. We mulliganed to 5, had a mediocre 5. And then opponent high-rolled their Adnaz a little bit, and we died. But I think oftentimes the games are going to play out. The person that wins game 1 is going to win the match. And yeah, it's just not exciting. You don't really get to, like... It's exciting to play against Storm as, like, blue decks, I think, more, because there's a lot more, like, a game of chess going on. But the Death and Taxes over Storm matchup is just very boring. And just, like, mulligan aggressively for hate cards, hope your hate cards are enough, and sometimes they're not, and sometimes you die. Anyhow, that is going to wrap up our stream today. Hope everyone had a good time. We had some weird games today. Our Grixis opponent just conceding to us out of the blue there. But anyway, I might do something weird. As long as Storm is picking up, I might, like, just sideboard a Mind Break Trap or some silly nonsense. Mind Break Trap, an Orim's Chant, something stupid like that. But anyway, if you enjoyed the stream today, you want to see some more Death and Taxes content, we streamed that a bunch here. I guess, like, before I recite that, tomorrow we're doing an earlier stream. I don't know exactly what time, but I think around 5 or 6 p.m. CST, so like 3 to 4 hours earlier than I usually stream. And yeah, I think that's my only announcement. Just a little bit earlier stream tomorrow. And I think I'm going to stream 5-color humans sometime this week. I'm kind of feeling an itch to play that deck. Orim's Chant. It's not a good card. It's definitely not good, but, like, sometimes you need to play some bullshit to make sure you, like, to have a better Storm matchup. Might very well be home. Hella sick. Oh, that sucks. Hope you feel better, Yaz. But anyway, yeah. So 5 or 6 p.m. CST, I think, is going to be the start time of the stream tomorrow. And then playing 5-color humans sometime, probably Wednesday, I think. I'll send a care package, yes. Promo art is sweet. I need to get, like, a promo Orbs Chant even if I'm never going to play it. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the stream. If you like the content today, you want to see more stuff, we play a lot of Death and Taxes here. You can subscribe, comment, or donate. No, comment? No. Follow, subscribe, or donate. Following is totally free, helps you know when I'm going live, helps other people find my content, all that sort of stuff. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote and Thraben-themed subscription badge in the chat. And donations, I'd be more than happy to play deck lists you want to see streamed. Big Death and Taxes fan, just hit me up beforehand. Other than that, you can subscribe on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. YouTube is where all my streams go after they're done being live. So there's a bunch of Death and Taxes footage if you want to watch some more there. And Twitter is when I post when I'm going live, as well as paper results, that sort of thing. Anyway, it's going to be the whole stream today, and I will see you guys all tomorrow for the early stream. Have a good one, everybody.